Welcome to Today is in the Kitchen. We are making one of our family favorites for the holidays, which is kind of inspired by the Black Friday today. And I've already got some stuff going. I'm going to add in about a tablespoon of onion powder, and you can go less if you want, but I find, especially with plant-based cooking, you really need to keep the flavors up. The flavors come a lot from the spices as well as this just egg or the mung bean version. And just egg itself is made from mung beans, so it's the same. Now let me go back to my stove top version, ladies. Hopefully you can hear. So out comes the cheese casserole there. And there's a completed finished one here for us. All right. And there we have a beautiful potato casserole. Welcome to Today is in the Kitchen. We are making one of our family favorites for the holidays, which is kind of inspired by the Black Friday today. And I've already got some stuff going. So this is a potato cheese casserole, and it's probably more involved than anything else that we do here. I try and keep things simple. It's not that it's hard, but there's more steps. So I would recommend, if it feels overwhelming to do it, break it into chunks. So you can do a couple of things ahead of time, and then you're just doing the assembly, and it's a lot less time that way. So that's what I do. So we're going to do a few things here today. I've got, we're sauteing up some vegetables. I've already pre-made my cheese, which our cheese sauce we made last week. I have made some potatoes here. Let me just show you. So these are mini potatoes. You can use regular potatoes and cut them into bite-sized pieces. And I put them in the air fryer. I added some spices, some garlic powder, some onion powder, some paprika. I added a little bit of oil, just like a teaspoon or so, just to coat them. And I put them in the air fryer. I think I did 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes. And you can do that in advance, so you just have them. And I've got them in a glass baking dish. So while we're at that, I've also got my cheese sauce from last week that we made. I made a separate batch, but this is the same one we made last week, if you want the recipe. And we're going to make an egg substitute for today and saute up some vegetables. So let's get going. I've already got the vegetables on the burner to saute them. I'm going to go over to my thing. So I've sauteed some onions in broth. So I'm using vegetable broth, the organic PC one. It kind of is, the organic ones tend to get pretty pricey. This one is pretty economical. I'm going to add in some garlic. I got lots of garlic here today. I'm going to really garlic up my flavors. And we're just going to turn that up a bit. And all I do, because I'm water sauteing, if you're not comfortable with that, you can always use oil, like an olive oil, a little bit. But all I do is, as the pan gets dry, is add a little bit more of the broth. And so we're going to let that go for a minute or so. And then we're going to add in some mushrooms. We're just going to do that for a minute. I've got some mushrooms. I just used some white mushrooms. You can use whatever mushrooms you want. And I'm just going to add them in as well. So I'm going to add those in. Let that go for a minute or two as well, until the mushrooms start to get softer as well. And see, as the liquid evaporates in this, then I just add a little bit more. You could use water. I'm almost out of my broth, so I might just go to water. That's it for my broth. So I think I'll go to water. Admit. Oh. All right, ladies, we're making a potato cheese casserole and we're just doing up some mushrooms. We've sauteed some onion and garlic here. We'll let that go for a few seconds. And you could do this a little longer. I just don't want you guys standing around waiting too long. So you could let the mushrooms get a little bit more cooked if you want. Just a little soft. And then I have also some peppers that I cut up. So I have some green and red peppers. You can do yellow peppers, orange peppers, just to make it nice and colorful here. Now you can see the mushrooms are starting to get sweat out the liquid, because mushrooms tend to have a lot of liquid in them. So as they sweat out the liquid, they're starting to go. I'm just going to add in my peppers. So this is 2 peppers. I think I might do a little less than 2 peppers, maybe a pepper and a half here. And we're going to let that saute as well. And again, as the liquid gets evaporated, we can add more liquid to it. Just keep moving it around here so it doesn't burn, of course. It's a good idea. Okay, just going to add a little bit more. While that is going, I'm going to flip. Oh, can you hear me better now, Susan? Is that better? I should have a mic for this. Okay. I hope that's a little better now, the sound. Let me move back so you can see me a bit better. It's still not great. Eesh. Let me check what my audio is like. My audio. Yeah, my audio looks low. Testing, testing. Oh, darn. Does that help? Is that better? Okay, I switched up and made it a little. Look at that, I'm learning how to do these tech things. All right, so let me go back to me here. All right, I'm glad that's a bit better. Yay! Now I'm just going to put together, so I don't know where I got this from, but I like it for things like this. I'm going to put my spices in this. Let me get here a little bit. We're putting the spices into a container. I've got a glass jar. I am going to take some nutritional yeast, maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons. I love nutritional yeast, so I go all out with it. If you're not crazy about it, you could use less, but that's where you get some of the cheese from. Cheese flavor is from the nutritional yeast. I'm going to add in about a tablespoon of onion powder, and you can go less if you want, but I find, especially with plant-based cooking, you really need to keep the flavors up. The flavors come a lot from the spices as well as the veggies. So I've got about a tablespoon of garlic powder. I'm going to add in a little bit of black pepper and some turmeric here. Where's my turmeric? Right here. So just about a teaspoon or maybe a little bit more of turmeric. I'm definitely not putting that on my hands because it's very yellow flavor, or yellow, it stains. And when you're using turmeric, make sure that you're also using some black pepper. The black pepper enhances the availability to absorb in our body of the turmeric by 2,000%. So it's really important to do that. And then what I like to do is just take and add a little bit of water to this to make a paste. so that it just is very even. Let me get my spoon. I'm just going to make a paste with this. And this I'm going to put into our veggies in a minute. I think I got this from a restaurant here in Toronto that they do this for, like, there's tofu, scrambled tofu and stuff. And then at least it's mixed in. It's easier to mix it in. You don't get clumps as in them. All right. Our veggies are boiling away here. So I'm going to let them continue for a minute. We are going to make some Just Egg. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of Just Egg. You can buy it in the store. Or you can make your own version of it. So we're going to make our own version. If that's too much for you, I did put into the recipe, you can buy this. Of course, it has some additives in it, so it's not as good as the whole food version. But that's what we're doing, so we're making the egg that way. I'm just going to turn this down. All right, so what we do for the Just Egg, I'm going to put it in the blender. This is mung beans. They're split mung beans. Not as easy to find. You may or may not be able to find them. I bought them online. I didn't find them. They say they carry them at my grocery store, but when I was looking for them, I couldn't find them. So I've got that. I'm going to add in 3/4 of a cup of water to that recipe. And then I'm going to add in my spices. Some more nutritional yeast, a couple of tablespoons, and I always use heaping tablespoons. More black pepper. I'm just going to let the person in. Some garlic powder again, more garlic powder for our eggs. A little bit of garlic powder. Some onion powder again, lots of spice going on here. And then I'm going to add in this is a black salt. So you can buy this I bought it at Whole Foods, but you can buy it in different stores. It comes to be alongside the pink Himalaya salt if you can find it. So it's a black or a brown, and it will give you an eggy flavor. So I'm going to put about a teaspoon of that in. And this is optional if you like the egg flavor. It kind of has that sulfur quality to it. We don't use it a lot, but this is a way to get that, is through the black salt. And then we're just going to blend this up. And that's going to be our Just Egg. We just want to make sure that it's smooth. Yep, it looks good. I can smell the sulfur, like eggy flavor taste to it. And that stuff does not taste the best the way it is. It's better to cook it first. Like people do make omelets and things with this Just Egg or the mung bean version. And Just Egg itself is made from mung beans, so it's the same. Now let me go back to my stove top version, ladies. Hopefully you can hear. So all of my stuff is sauteed now, my veggies. I have my white onion, mushrooms, garlic, peppers. Now I'm going to add in, I'm going to turn off my stove and add in some more things. I have some diced tomato here. I'm going to add in. So a little bit. I'm adding it fresh. We're not going to, I'm just going to add that in. I'll add the whole thing. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of onion. So now I have some red onion that I'm not going to, just going to add in a little bit of red onion here. Kind of half a cup or so. And now I'm not even cooking that. I'll let that cook in the casserole. So I'm just going to do that. And now I will be ready to put my casserole together. Whee! Let me see if I can get it so you can see this. Can you see? I'll move this. I ought to be careful. I don't want to get too close to the burner. All right, there's the casserole. Oop. Let me move this to the other side. Swing it over. All right. Now you can see that. So this is my potatoes that I baked or air fried. Just going to add in some of our veggies here. Add them in. I may have overshot how many veggies, so I'll make something out of the rest of the veggies. I actually usually make this in a big casserole dish, but mine is already full from, I made one of these for the kids yesterday too. They love it. So this is breakfast for dinner too, brunch for dinner. And then I'm going to add in some of my just egg that I just made. Just egg that I just made, my egg concoction. And of course we need some cheese. I have the cheese sauce that we made here last week. I'm going to add it in here. Yum! So that's the cheese sauce we made last week. Stir it around. Be careful not to spill. And then we're going to bake this in the oven at 350, uncovered, for about an hour or so till it starts boiling and it looks like the cheese and the sauce is set. It takes about an hour, maybe a little longer, depends on your oven. But I also don't put a cover on because I found, I don't know, it doesn't work. It really needs the cover off. Just going to flatten that out. Maybe I might clean up this edge so it doesn't just burn. And then I can put that in the oven, and then this is going to make our cheese casserole. Voila! Out comes the cheese casserole there. And there's a completed finished one here for us. All right, let me move back to the video so you can see me again. I'm back again. All right. Now, I find that I like to have something with my casserole, so I have some additives. So I have some sour cream, and I have the recipe for the sour cream. So I have some sour cream. I've got some green onions that I'll add, so to make it fresh. Always nice to add some fresh ingredients. I also have some more tomatoes for it, and I'm going to make a little guac as well. That works really nicely. So we're going to make the guac right now. Very easy. I have a little bowl. One ripe avocado. Just going to cut into it. This, I thought guac would be a hard thing to make, and it is got to be one of the easiest things. It's so simple. It's not even funny. So I'm just going to take the, oh, look at that, beautiful. Oh, I love, it's like a surprise when you open up an avocado to see what it looks like inside. This one looks delish. I'm just going to scoop it out here. Get one. I'll scoop out the other side as well. With the, get rid of the pit here, this one. Move that over. And just kind of scoring inside. You don't have to, but this one is quite soft, which is nice. These are not so, oh. This is like heaven to me. Ah, to see this beautiful Avocado. Okay, so I just put the avocado into my bowl. Literally all I'm going to do is add a tiny bit of the tomato here. Add some tomato. Maybe a teaspoon or a tablespoon or so. This is a small, as much as you want or as little as you want. I'm going to add a little bit of red onion. This red onion is a pretty powerful one, so I don't want to add too much. It's a very strong, this particular onion that I cut is a strong one, so I don't want to cut too much. I'm going to add a little bit of lime juice. You can add some pepper and salt if you like. I'm going to add a little touch of pepper. I'm not a big pepper fan, so just a touch. And then mash it up, and that's how you can make an easy guac. Literally, it's that easy to make guac. Mash it up, and we've got guac. Beautiful guac here. You could add some other flavors if you want. I think my daughter likes to add garlic powder to hers. But this is easy, very quick and easy way to make a guac. And now all we get to do is put it all together. So let me get a little bit of a scoop of my potato casserole for myself. I'm just going to scoop out a bit. You got to be careful because it's hot. So I've got my potato casserole. Just going to add some sour cream, a little bit of guac, and then just add some freshness to it with some tomato and a little bit of cut up green onion, I guess, or scallions, I think they're also called, depending where you're from. And there we have a beautiful potato casserole. Yum. All right. Now, Gloria, I see a question from you. I just got to find my thing to wipe my hands a little bit here. I got a little bit of guac on it. Yum. Kathy, I wish we could share across the across the Zoom.
Me too.
If anybody figures that out, they'll make a lot of money. How you could do that? Some kind of telepathy? No. Just anyway. So let me just look. So Gloria, I used split mung beans is what it is. Let me get the yellow mung. It was called, when I bought it, was called yellow mung dal. Yellow mung dal. So it's like split peas, but it's a very small, and it's mung beans that are split. Yes, teleporting. Thank you, Susan. Exactly. So I used this, and I soaked it for about 4 hours and then rinsed it off, and that's what I used to make the Just Egg, or the homemade version of Just Egg. I'd be curious if mung bean flour would work too, but I think you need the split mung beans anyway to get that done. Have you ever found mung bean flour? Yeah.
No, but I was going to look today because I'm going shopping after this, so I was going to have a look.
So I know that it says in my superstore in Toronto, in Oakville, they did say they had this in the international section, but I didn't actually find it. So I ended up buying it online. I think at Organic Matters, Organic Matters, I think is where I ended up buying that from.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
I don't know. Like, I had a hard time finding it. Superstore said they had it, but then when you went in person, they didn't have it.
I see.
Yeah. Any questions or the sort as we teleport through? So this
So,
is
so Debbie, I did have a question.
yeah.
I have a problem with avocados. I'll buy an avocado. I'll buy one of those big bags, that they have at the grocery store, where it's like 4 or 5, and I don't want them squishy when I buy them. I get them home. I take one out, and I just leave it on the counter, and I'll turn it until it feels a little bit soft. But somehow it never gets as pretty as the one that you showed. Like it's sometimes they feel soft, and then when I cut them open, the part that's closest to um, the bulb, I guess, or the seed is so hard. So I'm wondering what I'm doing wrong.
It's not what you're doing wrong. I think we have some of the ones we buy, that's what happens. I got lucky today. I just literally bought these yesterday at the store, and a lot of times you can't even buy them ripe at the store. So it like to me, avocados are hit and miss. But
Oh,
also one other thing to watch, and these ones have, you see the where the stem is, that it's missing. So this means that air can get into the avocado, so they're more likely to go brown. Now this one has the stem intact, so it's holding the air from coming in. So when I'm shopping and I'm buying them individually, I look for ones that have the stem, and sometimes it's hard to find them. If it has too much stem, it looks like it's great, but they fall off. Those are the ones where you just bump it and they fall off. So I like it like this, where the stem is it's just the little nib that's holding the air from coming into the avocado. And honestly, sometimes I don't know what it is. I should look into it. I have heard that a way to store them, kind of to get the best freshness, is to wrap them in aluminum foil. But
oh, okay.
I'm gonna research that and I'll send something along about that because I
Well,
think
see, I don't want them to go ripe all at once, so that's
no.
what I thought. So do you think I should be leaving them on the counter stored in aluminum foil, or the ones
Um,
that are in the
No,
fridge stored in aluminum?
I think you're okay the way that you're doing it, and I've done that before. Or the other thing we do is we'll leave them on the counter and then put them in the fridge once they're getting starting to get soft. So
Okay.
but honestly, I bought this bag. These are small ones. I bought this bag and I literally was looking for the ones that were actually soft already, and I found this bag that was pretty good, and I picked up the one and it was great. I mean, it's like this gamble, when you open your avocado, what is it going to look like inside all the time?
The avocado gamble. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly. And I know I've bought, like, Costco has the big, like, big giant ones. Sometimes they tend to not really, they still tend to be hard as well. I don't know what it is, but I might gonna look into it a little bit and I'll let you know.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Cheers, ladies. I have my lunch. And when we can, I'll teleport across to you the masterpieces that we've made.
Thank you, Debbie.
So this is our sort of holiday brunch. I don't make this a lot because it is more involved. Like it has more steps to it. But the other way, which I did, is I made the cheese sauce kind of separate, had it in the fridge, so it's easy. It's already ready to go. I don't have to make it up. Because if you're making everything in the morning, it could take you a while to do. So I definitely like to make it in steps. And the same thing, got my air fryer out, cooked up my potatoes yesterday, had some for dinner, and then the rest I put it in the fridge, and then I can, it might take a little longer to get your casserole done because it's cold, but it means you're not doing everything all at once, which can be important because sometimes when you have to do it all at once, you just don't do it because it's too much. All right, I just put the recipe into the chat. There is a link to this cashew sour cream, which is a really nice sour cream. I've had a couple people give me the thumbs up on that, and that sour cream is compliments of Pacha Vega Living Foods Education, where I took my raw food chef course. I don't want to mess with something that tastes good already. And I also had the recipe for the cheese sauce that you can use to put on potatoes. You can make a mac and cheese with it, whatever you want. It's great. And I don't put a lot of salt, but I have to say that for that mac and cheese, just to kind of get more of the cheesy flavor, I like to add some salt to it for sure. All right. Well, if there's no questions, I want to thank everyone. If you're in the US and celebrating the Black Friday and still have family, enjoy. And for everyone else, have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to put some music on and
Just enjoy your weekend as well,
Thank
Debbie, and
you.
everyone else. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you next week.